Hello, and welcome back to Path of Exile. You might be wondering why I'm taking this tone with you. Well, let's just say, I haven't forgotten what people have said. You know, back whenever I first started playing these games, back whenever I didn't use any guides or anything, I was just playing the game, having a fun time. But apparently, that's not the way to do it. Oh, no, that's not the way you play these games. I haven't forgotten what people have said about me all that time ago. And I will have you know, I'm not upset with you. So anyways, Path of Exile. It has been an entire year since Settlers began. Let me just say, I was not around for the full thing. I only started playing this game back in December of 2024, which was about 5 or 6 months into Settlers, I'd say. Just kind of had a fun time with friends. I didn't really play with any guides or anything. I didn't want to be the best. I just wanted to sit down, learn a new game, and have some fun. 800 hours later and 6 months of my life wasted, I can safely say that this game has overtaken my attention this entire year. Settlers is ending though, so what better time to make another video on this game than right now? Kind of update you all on where I am, my thoughts on the next major, league. Let's talk about that, shall we? I'm going to be taking you through each of my major characters that I've worked on. I have worked on a lot of characters. I was learning this game from basically zero knowledge. I had no prior knowledge of how this game worked. I didn't use any guides whatsoever. I learned everything on my own within this last half a year. And you know what? I'm really proud of myself for it. I went from no knowledge whatsoever to knowing how most of the mechanics work in the game. Not all, obviously. But you know what? For someone who doesn't look at guides or look at the forums, pretty proud of myself. I'm going to be taking you through every one of my major characters. Now, this is not going to be going over all the characters from my character graveyard. As someone who was learning the game, I was constantly starting new characters. I was constantly trying new mechanics and learning how they worked, how they interacted with each other, just in general, trying new things and doing this. I had 14 characters before I finally got a very, very, very good pinnacle level content runner. And that very first character, the Shockwave Totem Hierophant, was my very first character to take me into tier 16 content, pinnacle bosses, and so much more. It's a very good build against groups of enemies, single targets, but the only major problem that I personally had was that it was extremely flimsy. The idea of the build is that you can place down totems pretty much across the screen from you, and those totems can actually cast spells on targets that are approximately across the screen from themselves. Meaning that this thing has incredibly long range, and you can actually kill a lot of things without even having them on screen, which is very, very nice. I like it. I like it a lot. And it was very good for me as someone who doesn't have the best reactions. This was mainly done thanks to Astral Projector, which quite literally just makes all Nova skills target the location you're aiming at, not the location around you. As well as that, the Hierophant gains access to special totem passives. This was the second key to making this build work. And in order to maximize damage, I had to use the setup of Void Battery, Malachai's Loop, Badge of the Brotherhood, and Ralakesh's Impatience. This setup eventually gave me 9 power charges and 9 frenzy charges at the same time, putting my DPS well into the millions. This was the highest damaging build that I had, and it shreds super bosses, like big time. The only other things that I did was I had the Devouring Diadem on my head, mainly because of the increased mana reservation efficiency, and thus Fallen on my second weapon slot, because of course I did. It's a survivability option. I can literally just press one button and boom, I've instantly got more survivability. It's great. I love it. I love this Fallen. Can't wait to use it again. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. But this build alone was amazing. I absolutely loved it. Now, is it going to be good in the next update? I don't know. I don't know how good Shockwave Totem is. I don't know how Hierophant is going to be. But honestly, it was absolutely one of my favorite builds in the game. It was fun, it was good, and it even allowed me to play things like Blight and Blight. I mostly played Blight. After I got done with doing that build, I decided it was time to move on and try something new. So, I moved on to Splitting Steel Champion. Now, I have heard legends of how Splitting Steel Champion used to be phenomenal. The best thing in the game, basically. Well, maybe not the best thing, but really good. Maybe not really good, just kind of good. I don't know. I wasn't around. Again, I've only been playing this game for a half a year. I don't know much. I'm a newborn child in the grand scheme of things. And in this case, I built a Splitting Steel Champion off of maximizing my bleed and impale. Yeah, apparently this playstyle of mine specifically, because I know that everybody uses returning projectiles for a specific interaction that it does, I was not using that. I actually never used returning projectiles on this. I know the build could probably be better with it, but I never did. This thing is phenomenal at heisting, and heisting makes some good money. You get tailoring orbs, you get tempering orbs, you get Replica Alberon's Warpath. It's pretty good. It's pretty good value. This right here is going to be my league start. Now I know that a lot of people are probably thinking, well, hey, the returning projectiles and the splitting steel is getting nerfed. Yes, but there's a different thing. Splitting steel is still getting buffed in a couple different regards. It's getting nerfed because of the returning projectiles interaction, but it is also getting buffed in terms of the maximum damage that it can deal and the area that it does that damage in. That's what I'm looking at. And the fact that this build only needs 3 uniques to get off the ground, and the changes that they're making to champion, the buffs to things like fortification, you get bonus attack speed per fortification over 20, and then you combine that with the Uber Exarch's gloves. Yeah, I want that. That sounds fun. That sounds really fun. That is going to be my league start character. I played this character on a complete whim, and it is the cheapest character I have, only needing Fury Valve, Perseverance on the belt, and Lionized Vision. That's it. It is cheap. Like, I think the most expensive things are the dual Reaver axes, but even then, if you're just constantly rolling, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it sometime. So while this build is going to be very good in the next update, and while my first build was very good in a lot of endgame content, I did still want to mess around with my patent-pending stupid builds. And so I decided to make something very stupid. Flicker Strike of Power, Cast on Crit, Crackling Lance of Disintegration Inquisitor. I also like to call him Crackman, the Man of Crack, because that's his name. This character is stupid. I know he's stupid. He's extremely stupid. But my god, I love Crackman, the Man of Crack. Crackman, the Man of Crack is... He's him good. Him very good. It's not that he's good, it's just that he's fun. See, I am using Flicker Strike of Power, which is essentially Flicker Strike, but it uses power charges to reset the cooldown instead of frenzy charges. That is usually a big deal unless you're playing as a Templar. And in this case, I was using that in order to use Cast on Crit. And because of the Inquisitor having bonus critical chance, I need to make sure I'm remembering what that does. Hold on. And because of the Inquisitor's increased critical strike chance per point of strength or intelligence, depending on which one is lower, that means that this build absolutely goes insane. However, I will say 2 things. Number 1, Flicker Strike is not the best skill to use in terms of Cast on Crit. It's fine, it's fun, and if you want to do it just to kind of get the feel for how it works, go ahead, it's fine. And who knows, maybe Flicker Strike fans can make it work. I'm not one of them. I don't have the brain power capable of doing that. But that being said, at the same time, Crackling Lance of Disintegration, as fun as it is to just teleport behind enemies and blast them with a fucking laser beam that disintegrates you instantly, that's fun, but it's not good. In fact, I would actually suggest doing Cyclone Arc, Cyclone Spark, something like that. I don't know which one you would do. I don't know which one I would do. I just recommend doing anything but this combination of abilities. But the point is, Crackman, the man of crack, don't care. He's gonna get you the crack. He's gonna get you crack! I don't know why I'm weirdly crazy right now. It's probably the lack of oxygen going to my brain. That's okay. I'm excited. I also got to get this video out in, like, a day. The final build that I made before all of this Secrets of the Atlas stuff started was Summon Raging Spirits Necromancer. And it is the single best build that I've made. Not only does it shred pinnacle bosses like they're nothing, not only does it do basically any content besides like Uberit Ziri, Simulacrum, maybe Ultimatum. I really don't like Ultimatum. It has insane levels of DPS and survivability at the same time. There's tons of customizability in the different specters that you can use, although I usually end up using Perfect Warlord, Perfect Forest Warrior, and Perfect Forest Tiger. Warlord for endurance charges, Forest Warrior for onslaught, and Forest Tiger for haste and frenzy charges. Those bonuses, by the way, all apply to your minions, so that means that anything that you get will also buff up all your minions, aka the 20 raging skulls that are currently charging at your enemies, just absolutely shredding their health because of the 8 million procs of poison that are on them. It's so much fun. And on top of that, the setup that I have is, well, admittedly, the setup is expensive. Well, for one, the Spectres. Perfect Warlord was 12 Divines. Perfect Forest Tiger was 20. That's 32 Divines right there. I don't know how much a Perfect Forest Warrior is. He's just common enough that I just grab him from a ritual altar and call it good. But the minion setup, the Covenant, United in Dream, Aminamu's Gaze, and Stygian Vice. A good roll of Stygian Vice is expensive. I don't know if this is the case. I might be wrong, but I believe Stygian Vice does also affect Aminamu's Gaze. It doesn't say anything about not working with uniques. I could be wrong. I might not have read the wiki very closely, but I've been using it on there, and it seems to work, so I'm okay with that. But on top of that, the Necromancer is just so good at survivability. She has such high defenses, both by herself and with minions. I managed to get a Bottled Faith to drop, which that's gonna boost your survivability immensely. And of course, it's Fallen. It's Fallen these nuts. This build, it's fun. It's just pure fun. It's that joy, just summon skulls all over the place, and then next thing you know, there's just all the poison buildup on enemies that you haven't even seen. This thing does millions of damage per second, and it's so good. I absolutely love it. And as far as I can tell, this build is not getting worse in the next update, so if you have the money, go for it. It's worth it. It's fun. But of course, that brings us to the next league. I've talked about my major characters. I've mentioned the graveyard that I had behind me, and I've even mentioned the fact that I haven't been playing this game long, and I've already beaten all of the pinnacle content by myself, no guides, nothing. And you didn't believe I could! Sorry, mostly saying that for the people who commented on that one Path of Exile 2 video that I needed to use a guide, or that I wasn't good enough, or, yeah, you know, normal stuff. Anyways, fuck those guys. So the next major update is going to be both an expansion, a new league, and a whole bunch of new stuff. I'm wanting to give my thoughts on this because I think that it looks awesome. I know most people probably think that, especially after a whole year of Settlers. But like a lot of the new changes that they made, like memory threads, it makes the process of grinding for that gear with memory pedals and whatnot that give you the unique abilities that you can use in maps. That looks fun. That looks fun as hell. I want that. I want to play that. But I have to wait a week, and then some, because it's Thursday whenever I'm recording this. As well, there's 3 new pinnacle bosses. I already just beat all the other ones. I want to beat these ones now. I want to go prove myself. I want to do this without a guide either. I want to do this with no spoilers. I think it's going to be fun. I also very much appreciate all the quality of life things that have been added to the game updates so far, like the strongbox buttons, the Rogue Harbor having an actual button on the map, Elder and Shaper Exalted Orbs, pausing, which is huge, and also no longer losing experience in pinnacle bosses. That means I can just do more bosses now. I never did bosses because I was always afraid of losing the experience. I mean, I lost the experience anyway because I'm not good at surviving. But hey, I beat the pinnacle bosses, so I guess that means I'm good for something. As well as that, there's the new league, Mercenaries of Charthus. This is going to be fun for two reasons. Number one, the mercenaries are actually really cool looking. Not like the actual concept of having another party member without having to play multiplayer. That's big. And I know this has been a thing since like Diablo 2. I played Diablo 3 back in the day. That was a thing. Not very good, though it was fine. It's just mostly that you played with the Templar. Well, I played with the Templar. I don't know what other people did. I'm going off on a tangent. Anyways, mercenaries. Fun idea. I can't wait to give it a shot. I want to play it. It's going to be fun. But I want to make stupid builds. Me and a friend have absolutely come up with one of the stupidest builds. Mercenary build. Now, I don't know how it would work. I really don't. But theoretically, there are uniques that affect party members, but not yourself. So why not equip a bunch of those onto yourself and then let the mercenary do all the work? That would be interesting. You could probably even use links if you knew what you were doing. The only thing I can think is maybe it won't be possible to beat the Maven because that stupid Simon Says puzzle bullshit, but that's the Maven for you. Her fight's bullshit. I don't like it. Every other fight's fine, in my opinion. I like them. It's the Maven. I don't like the Maven. As well as that, Settlers is going core, actually. This was a change that I kind of expected myself, and I know I had, like, my buddy of mine, Moth, he was kind of dreading that choice, but I was like, listen, I think it would be okay to have in the game if they made some kind of change to make it less grindy. And they did. The good news is that Settlers, now, you're not going to be building the town from scratch every time. Instead, you go in, and it's all pre-built for you. Everything is pre-built, everything is level 5 at a maximum, and that means that you don't get as good rewards from stuff, but that's totally okay in my eyes. Because part of the reason that it was so powerful in Settlers was because you got to max rank on shipping. You just loaded a shipment full of like blue xanthan, or whatever it's called. You load up a bunch of disenchanting dust and then send it off, and next thing you know, you get waylaid by pirates and you gotta go save it, but hey, you get some divines out of it. So that's gotta be worth something. Unfortunately, there was just a lot of busy work in order to get it done. Like, I've not exactly been working actively towards challenges until this past month, but like, I have not even gotten close to fully upgrading my King's March. It's just tedious, it's just annoying, and the only way you really get gold is through clearing maps. Like, you don't get much from side activities or anything. Speaking of activities that I absolutely love, Betrayal! I am a big fan of Betrayal. Like, literally, as I've been doing my Summon Raging Spirits build, Betrayal has just been something that I've invested in the past, just to kind of have it going in the background. Anytime there's a new, like, safe house, anytime I get a mastermind encounter, I just shred through it like nothing, and it's fun. That's all it is. It's just fun. And I can usually wipe out like 4 or 5 of these in a single day, so it's like, that's good. That's really good. And the improvements that they've listed so far for this new update are huge. There's also a lot of buffs to things like Tiny's Trial, which thank God for that. That's gonna be great. And then, of course, the thing that I'm the most excited about, I didn't get to play Necropolis, but apparently the big thing that they're doing is instead of having Veiled Orbs be like a valuable currency that the Mastermind Katarina drops, she's now going to drop all flames that you can then insert into your Atlas and get massively juicy maps. Like, we're talking fucking 100% fruit juice. Things are getting juicy next week. But honestly, the rest of it is just kind of patch notes that is very specific to your build, my build, other people's builds. It's all stuff that if you care about it, you care about it. If not, you don't really care about it. And also, again, this is only a few hours after the live stream ended. I don't know the full list of changes. I know that we've got like Charthan gems coming out. What if there's like a Charthan splitting steel that works even better with my build than regular splitting steel? I'm not gonna know that until the update comes out, basically. But you know what? That's okay. I'm excited. I know everybody is. And especially after the disappointment that was Dawn of the Hunt, I did actually play Dawn of the Hunt. I actually went back to Path of Exile 2 after my video. I went back to the game, and I actually did make it to tier 16 maps by swapping my weapon from crossbow to quarterstaff. The balance didn't get any better afterwards, by the way. From what I'm seeing so far, that this update is going to be fantastic. It's going to be fun. I'm going to have a great time. Now, I don't plan on making a lot of videos on the update unless I find like some silly, stupid, ridiculous build combination that I want to show off, just kind of have some fun. Then I'll make a more in-depth, for fun video on it. But the problem is, I got stuff I gotta work on. I got artwork commissions I gotta work on. I got games that I want to make. I will make a return to videos. Just not now. And you know what? Let's just have some fun. That's what these games are for. Things are pretty tough right now. We can always just have a little bit of fun. So thank you all for watching. And I guess I'll see y'all sometime in the future. Goodbye.